Hey guys, this is Bridget and I want to give you some travel tips how to pack. I've got a 4th generational packing technique for my great grandma I want to show you, and just what I take on the road, how to be healthy on the road and how to do it right. The first thing that I want to show you is my new bag. It's the lightest carry-on and the smallest carry-on in the world, and it's just over 3 pounds, and so that's just a huge step to begin with, because when you have a heavy bag, then especially internationally, those start to have fees, so it's really helpful to begin with that. Okay, so here's the technique my great-grandmother told my dad, and then it was passed down to me. So the idea is, this is a great wrinkle-free way of packing, as well as it makes everything smaller and condensed, and so you can see where everything is. So the first thing you do is you lay the shirts flat. So I've got my shirts, I've got my jackets, sweaters, all of that, and I just lay it all flat. I've got, say, my dress here for the Ufology Congress, lay it all flat. So then I have one other pile, it's this simple, and I just fold it along the edge. This is my grounding sheet for Europe. I've got my different scarves, I've got my different pants, so I just lay all of them flat like this. And then what you do, again, when they're all flat, then they don't get wrinkled. Then you bring it across like this, so it's like a crisscross. So you have those laying that way, and then you flop it over, and then you bring it in, and then you flop it over, and then you flop it over again. And so it's this pile of clothes, and it's much smaller than it would be if you folded each little thing. And you can also see okay, I have 3-4 pair of pants for the trip. You can see how it's organized. Now, Patrick says this, watching me do this, is that if you're trying to get one item out really quickly, it doesn't work very well. But if you're at a stationary place and you just flop it out, so you lay it out again, and then you can put this aside and say, okay, what shirt do I want to choose? And then you just put it back together again, and everything will stay really wrinkle-free and be very consolidated. Now, a few other tips for the packing is, one, if you need to condense space for somewhere like Europe, I put all of my thicker, heavier stuff and my boots, I wear those to the airport because it's cold on the plane, and then you're not taking up a bunch of space and having that cost money. A few other things I've got, going to Scotland, so this lady made me these hand-knit alpaca leg warmers, which are amazing. I'll put the link to her stuff, you should check it out. So now we're gonna put all of this pile of clothes into the little mini suitcase, which is super small, but it's enough room because everything's consolidated really nicely. So the only other things I'm putting in my suitcase for my 3.5-week trip is my camera case, my shoes, my other pairs of shoes that I've got going on here, just stuff them into the side, and my toiletries. I'm only bringing one book, The Toltec Secret. The rest I do on audiobooks so that I don't take up a bunch of space. I've got goji berries for snack, I've got a Schisandra tincture, some essential oils, got my camera stand, I'm going to put in here, sandals. So everything fits really quite nicely, just because of the clothing part, because of that technique. And at the bottom of the bag, you can put in your socks and underwear, your hats and stuff too. And so that's it. So this is all I need for Europe. So in my laptop case, I've definitely got an herbal green blend. This is Dragon Herbs. This is one that I'm taking to Europe, because in Europe you're not going to get that stuff as much, and so I have to make sure to get my green powder, goji berries. I've got some sprouted dehydrated walnuts. I've got all of my converters, my laptop case, and I usually have to take quite a lot because I'm usually taking paper and paints for my adventures as well. So that's pretty much it for 3.5 weeks in Europe. those are my packing techniques from my great-grandma Slater, and she was really ahead of her time. She was the first woman in Utah to get a college degree and also to have a car, buy a car. So she was a mover and a shaker, and so I'm happy to pass on these techniques to you. And I'll be in Europe over the next 3.5 weeks, so follow me on Instagram story to see what I'm doing, all the different sacred sites I'm going to, and my travel journeys. And I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next week with another video.